It's almost been 1 year since the Matt Reeves directed Batman released in theaters, and I haven't stopped gushing over the film. Unfortunately, a lot of people did not really enjoy that film because they found it slow, they found it different from what they had expected it to be. And I have been asked this question a lot of times, what is it that I loved so much about that film? Even though I had done a detailed review of the film on filmyfool.com, I thought, let me just do this again and talk about what I love about the Batman so much.
When that light hits the sky.
Until now, filmmakers, studios have really focused on a lot of the jazz surrounding Batman as much as the character himself. Things like money and what all it can buy, the gadgetry, the Batcave, the Batmobile. Case in point, the George Clooney Batman. Oh, awful. Another thing that has been focused on a lot has been the villains. These are important pieces for creating Batman, but not really the pivotal pieces. Yes, I know a lot of people will differ that villains are the pivotal pieces, but I'm gonna differ on this and I'm gonna tell you why. If you break it down to the lowest common denominator, all these villains are metaphors, the way I look at it. Chaos, greed, envy, power, corruption, fear, and anything else that is prevalent in the society or mirroring it. Hence, when you look at it as metaphors, villains are nothing but the means to an end, the means for Batman to grow, and this should be seen in this light. So I'm going to talk about three big things that are pivotal for Batman in my opinion, and all of these things are taken care of brilliantly in Matt Reeves' Batman. Number one is Bruce Wayne / Batman and the imperfections between the both of them. Yes, Batman's a superhero. Yes, Bruce Wayne is a millionaire, but they are not perfect. They're not indestructible. They are just men, or in fact, they are one man. And Matt Reeves showcases this brilliantly, always going for subtle nudges rather than crude in-your-face ones. The scene where Batman looks at a boy across a room full of cops. You know he's looking at a mirror. You know he's remembering his past. You know he's seeing himself in that little boy. But nothing is said. There are no flashbacks. There are no voiceovers. It's just implied. And you get it. Another beautiful scene is between Alfred and Bruce. In this gritty take on Batman, there is no Rachel Dawes, there is no Robin. There is only Alfred, and Bruce Wayne realizes that in the worst possible way. The way the film handles early days of Batman, it really reminded me of Frank Miller's Year One. Number two, Batman the Detective. The Batman had his debut in Detective Comics and went on to be known as the world's greatest detective. Some of his most famous villains, Penguin, Riddler, Scarecrow, have all been part of Detective Comics. This aspect of Batman has never been explored to the hilt the way it is in Matt Reeves' Batman. Honestly, the entire feel of this film has more in common with first-person noir detective stories than any superhero film. I say this because it starts off with first-person commentary on what is the situation of the city, the crime, and how he fits into all of this.
Thursday, October 31st. The city streets are crowded for the holiday. Even with the rain.
The tone is quintessential noir, and what follows is something that builds this film into a detective procedural with Batman and Gordon uncovering clues, following leads. Reeves stays committed to this approach right through the film and never gives in to grandeur or theatrics. So there are no over-the-top flashy moments or orchestrated crowd pleasers. Okay, maybe there's one.
I got you!
Couple of comics I got reminded of on this element of Batman were The Long Halloween and Hush. Both these comics have Batman the detective right in the center as he cycles through a lot of the villains trying to uncover the mystery. From Falcone to Maroni, from Riddler to Joker, never really overemphasizing on one villain at the cost of the narrative. The last essential element from my point of view, and one that's easily overlooked, is the depiction of Gotham City. If a film is unable to crack this, Batman's whole existence falls flat. Matt Reeves does a fantastic job here as well, portraying a brooding Gotham crumbling under the weight of corruption, greed and violence. This is such an important aspect of Batman, and I can't emphasize this enough. Batman and Gotham City are symbiotic and feed off each other. One wouldn't be the same without the other.
It's not just a call. It's a warning.
The comic that came to my mind when I thought of this was Code of Owls. It is one of my favorite Batman comics, and it shows a similar Gotham, one that is being broken by the wealthy, the powerful, and the corrupt. The fact that the 2022 Matt Reeves directed Batman hit all the boxes on these three elements is why I love that film so much. And if that wasn't enough, there are a couple of unexpected delights. First off, we have Matt Reeves, the poet. On several occasions, Matt's vision comes across through frames and exudes so much beauty that it's hard to resist. The scene that comes to mind is the inverted camera scene where Batman is walking against a backdrop of fire. It is magical. Another instance, and one of my favorite lines from the film.
They think I'm hiding in the shadows. But I am the shadows.
The other surprise was James Gordon. It was such a treat to watch Jeffrey Wright as James Gordon, and I say this because he had really big shoes to fill. The chemistry that he's able to create with Batman on screen is very, very visible right from this first film, and that goes a long way in adding to the overall narrative. Matt Reeves' Batman is an exceptional piece of cinema and one that will attain cult status in my book. It is the benchmark against which I would evaluate all past and future Batman films. It is just that good.